Boom, 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 came a knock on the door. I turned my head, I looked at the clock. It was midnight, faded back to sleep. Boom, 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 came the knock again. I looked to my side. It was 2 a.m. I looked up, and there was a dark silhouette of my father carrying a list, that list of things I was supposed to do. When I was 12, my father became a victim of an undiagnosed bipolar disorder. And in those days and years, for about 6 or so, I became a victim in my own life. My world, which was once an idyllic childhood, in a snap of a finger, became chaotic. He was verbally abusive and never pleased. I remember feeling dismayed. I went to him once with my report card, handed it to him. He looked at it, he looked at me, and he said, "Straight A's again? When are you to get A+?" I felt really small. Being quiet was my way of how I made myself feel safe, invisible. Maybe it was why I told myself I'm an introvert. It's amazing the stories we tell ourselves and what we believe, isn't it? I relived some of that darkness of my childhood days when I got to work in my 20s. I remember being stifled and drowning in my own self-doubt in my early professional career under a few CEOs. Until one day, around 30 years old, as I was CFO at a company that was growing, I had a CEO that was pivotal in my life. He was bright and cheery, he was great at business. Our offices were near each other, and he yelled across, "Hey, Amit, come here. You're the CFO now. I see you in all these meetings." And I thought, oh my God, here it comes. He's gonna tell me to stop. "Hey, why don't you take the COO title too? You're already making an impact." And it hit me. I was beginning the journey of recovery from self-doubt. My voice, which once had atrophied, was developing. And in that moment, I had a shift in mindset. How do you know you have one? You feel powerful. You feel like you see the game more clearly. It's like being in the movie Matrix. Everything around you gets slower, and you see the challenges coming at you. And the feeling? It's peaceful serenity with power. And the words you tell yourself? I got this. You've had that feeling before. I'm sure you have. And so during that time, I started reflecting and researching. I noticed that I began using my voice, then adding contribution, then driving measured impact, and then scarcity and darkness grew into something more, abundance. And what began as a question formed during the dark days became a question formed in abundance. And that question was, who am I meant to be? Now I've come to learn that I had more potential than I realized at each stage in my life. At each stage. And I asked myself, what is it that I wish I had known at each of these critical stages? What could I have done to change the trajectory of my life? Like the point I raised earlier about being an introvert. I think I'm on that journey still today. But back then, when I was thinking I was an introvert, I played small. It's like the movie Inception. I wonder about what deeper self-image was locked inside of me when I thought I was an introvert. And how was that moving me in the world I saw? And so from that thinking, I focused on what were some universal truths that I could hang on to and apply in my life while the subconscious was at work. What I do is building, scaling companies. Yeah, an introvert. I build scaling companies. And I've learned it starts not with a what, but with a who. And that's important to my CEOs because they're always at the point of their next frontier of learning, where that next question, that fork in the road, is the difference between where they're performing and the potential of how they could otherwise perform. It's a game we play 24/7, 365. And that fork in the road is the difference between scale or fail. Hundreds of CEOs have told me that they care about living a life worth living and leaving a legacy. Scaling their business is the way they manifest that journey. Living a life worth living leaving a legacy. I live for that game and helping them achieve that. All of this makes the struggle to find my voice and who I am and turn that into scaling companies. It makes it all worth it because it's not about the companies. It's about scaling people for me. So today, to get you on this journey, we're going to talk about 3 transformative leadership steps to scale your company. Managing your mindset is everything. Step 1. Be a king-queen maker. Your people are your impact multiplier is number 2. And frameworks are powerful. My name is Amit Kothari, and I'm the CEO of Kothari Leadership. We scale companies. We focus on the practice of consulting that is specifically enterprise growth consulting. It's all we do. By the end of this series, you will have practical tools and techniques that we've distilled by speaking to hundreds of CEOs and their leaders. Let's get on to it.